So, I've got my Aussiespeed intake in. Let's set this down. For the 292, we've got the turbo exhaust manifold. We got another Aussiespeed back there for a 250 Ford. So, these things are mounting with studs and some clamp kits. I don't know where they're at. These little guys here. So should go between intake and exhaust. But the intake and exhaust are different. One's from Aussiespeed, one's from somebody else. So let's hope I can cut that off and the clamp kit will work. So I'm gonna have to cut these down a little bit and should be good to go. Hopefully I guess the heights aren't super important, but this is about $1,000 for exhaust and intake. And the first thing I'm gonna do in the first 5 minutes is take a grinder to it. So let's see how that's gonna go. Okay, so I got the ears cut off the intake, and I'm close, but the intake won't come down far enough because the exhaust manifold is hitting here. The aluminum feels pretty thick, but I think I'd rather take it off the exhaust manifold. I've got a little bit of room there. I'm going to start here and see where I get. So this is what's hitting the intake here. So just this. I'm going to lower this down until I'm comfortable and then maybe start to work on the intake. Let's see if I can get these two to fit together. Okay, so I have a dilemma. So we got a little bit closer. Let's see if so we're really close on that one. Not too worried about this side, but it's kind of... So I'm getting a little bit thin right there on those. Not super worried about that. But that bolt hole is really far off on this side. So I could cut that ear and notch out the hole further down. But then I might have to worry about gasket sealing area. Or I could notch out this back of the manifold, which would bring them closer together. Then I'd have to worry about how thin is the bottom of this manifold getting. And it's a pretty thick casting. I can't quite tell how thick, but... So, I'm going to have to look at where my gaskets are at. And I might want to port match this guy anyways, but I'm going to have to mark this and see how that's affecting my gasket surface. So this one's doing super good. It's barely off. These gasket surfaces, I've got plenty of gasket surface here. The manifold side has tons. There's no lip in there. It's a, like I said, it's just a very, very thick casting. This place is a mess. Okay, so you can see that's where my line was lining up at. Let me make sure I'm all good on this side. So that's how far off we are. That's where we want to be. So right here, the bottom of the port, you know, it's kind of hard to tell, but might be lined up pretty well with the bottom of the intake port. Right here might have a huge gap, but that keeps me from having to cut into this. But if I just cut some more of this off, if I cut this out here, that plate would hold both the exhaust manifold and the intake. But I don't know if there's anything that can keep it from moving this way. Or if it's necessary. I'll have to think about what I want to do there. So if I did cut this and this port, I could port match these where I could grind out the inside of the intake and make sure everything flows really well there. But like I said, I don't know if I don't know what the right direction is here. That kind of scares me, but I guess it's not bad. It's just hard to prevent yourself from going real far. If I had a mill, I could probably create a nice slice through there. Maybe what I end up doing. Not sure yet. This is what it's going to look like when it's together. So we've got some clamping area here. They did not leave. Not sure how that's meant to go, but hopefully a little bit of area there. These two manifolds are definitely not meant to go together. So we've got the bolt hole off there, but plenty of surface on both manifolds to clamp down. Center is fine. That just need to be careful when I put it together. That one is very, very close, probably usable. Plenty of clamping area there. Same thing on this side, so I'll have to figure out if it's just, well, it's got to clamp both sides. I don't know how the hell these things are. This might be meant to be clamped down over here. And then very tight on the bottom side. I don't know if a turbo is going to fit. So I'm going to need to get a turbo to try that. And not hitting anywhere else. There's actually space. So hopefully I didn't screw up by cutting those off, but I'm sure, yeah, we'll see what happens. I need to figure out how these things are meant to mesh together. And then everything else looks good. I'm not quite sure where the intake, if it's going to come from intercooler on this side over here, or if I'm just going to have a small water to air, or water to air intercooler over here. And eventually it needs to go in the truck to make sure I got room for everything over there. I'm sure that I do. So yeah, follow along. If any of you guys have tried this combination, let me know down in the comments. I might be getting myself into some trouble here, but I think I can figure it out. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.